When you read Leviticus 12, it might feel very ritual-heavy at first, but a lot of what God instructed actually lines up with what modern medicine and research have discovered about childbirth and recovery. First, postpartum recovery is real and necessary. Today, doctors strongly emphasize what's called the postpartum period, usually around 6 weeks of recovery after giving birth. That lines up closely with the time frames in Leviticus 12, about 40 days for a boy, 80 for a girl. During this time, a woman's body is healing from major physical stress. There's bleeding, called lochia, hormonal shifts, and internal recovery. Science now confirms rushing this process can lead to complications like infection, hemorrhage, or long-term health issues. So what God commanded? It built in protected recovery time before jumping back into normal life. Second, temporary separation reduced infection risk. Back then, there wasn't modern sanitation. After childbirth, both mother and baby are more vulnerable to infection because the immune system is still stabilizing. By limiting contact with holy things and public spaces, it also functioned like a form of quarantine. Today, we understand how critical it is to limit exposure right after birth, especially for newborns with developing immune systems. Third, the value of rest and reduced activity. Modern research shows that too much physical activity too soon after childbirth can delay healing, increase bleeding, and even contribute to conditions like pelvic floor dysfunction. Leviticus essentially says, slow down, don't re-enter full responsibilities yet. That's something medicine strongly agrees with now. Fourth, circumcision timing, day 8. This one is really interesting. The instruction to circumcise on the 8th day lines up with what we now know about blood clotting. Around day 8, levels of vitamin K and clotting factors in a newborn are at a point where bleeding risk is lower than in earlier days. That timing, given thousands of years ago, matches modern medical understanding in a pretty striking way. Fifth, mental and emotional health matters too. While Leviticus doesn't use modern language, that period of withdrawal and slower pace also supports what we now know about postpartum mental health. Time to rest, adjust, and bond with the baby lowers stress and can help reduce risks of things like postpartum depression. So in a nutshell, what looks like ritual law was also protective, practical, and wise. Built-in recovery time, reduced exposure to illness, encouraged rest, timed physical procedures wisely, supported emotional adjustment. Conversational takeaway. It's kind of powerful when you think about it. Long before modern science could explain any of this, these instructions were already pointing people toward health, safety, and intentional living. What seemed purely spiritual also had very real physical benefits.